everyone, my name's Amber and this is Destination Nurse. I am documenting my journey to become a registered nurse. So today I wanted to tell you my story, why I decided to become a nurse, and let's just start from the beginning. So when I was 17, I began work in my first hospital. This is an animal hospital, and I spent the next 8 years working in animal hospitals with animals. I did everything from working, helping in the kennel, to working as a receptionist, to working my way up to a veterinary technician. I had a lot of experience in the files, so I would make a lot of phone calls out to the clients, and you know, I helped give instructions on dosing for medications. And it's really funny because a lot of medications can be used between animals and people. So like cephalexin is the first thing that comes to mind, an antibiotic. That's used in both people and animals, and it's the case for a lot of different medications. So I was in charge of the controlled substance log at the animal hospital I worked at, and so, you know, I had experience drawing blood from, you know, dogs that are, you know, 150 pounds all the way down to itty bitty teeny tiny kittens, and you know, knowing the best ways to draw blood from them. So I did that. I, you know, set up the medication bottles for take home. I also, you know, helped in restraining, helped with education, canine education, you know, did a lot of different things, administered, you know, helped administer the vaccines, all kinds of stuff. So that was 8 years of my life, and I really enjoyed working in a hospital setting. Ever since I was very little as I can remember, you know, just a few years old, I always loved animals. I always wanted to help. As I've gotten older, much older, I have realized that I still want to help, but maybe, you know, what I'd like to do more is help people this time. So I decided a few years ago, when my kids were very small, that I wanted to go into nursing and become a registered nurse. I did follow along during the pandemic 3 years ago and saw just, you know, I really felt for nurses and hospital staff that were dealing with, you know, things that, you know, nurses and hospital staff haven't dealt with in many, many, many decades. So it really struck a chord with me, and I really wanted to go help, not just, you know, help clients and, you know, other people, but also help to be a support system for other nurses and hospital staff and medical professionals. So I wanted to kind of, you know, incorporate myself into that world and transition from, you know, my experience working with animals to becoming a registered nurse to work with people. So that's where it all kind of evolved into. Now, I got my associate's degree in arts and general education when I was 19 years old. I did take early admission, which meant it's not the same thing as dual enrollment. In dual enrollment, when you're in high school, you are attending high school classes and you're attending college classes. I didn't do that. In my senior year of high school, I actually did not go to any of the high school classes. I didn't attend any high school events. I believe that was a condition. I was a full-time college student only. So I was not allowed to participate in any high school events, and I was a college student. I finished my first year of college in my senior year of high school, and I apologize for the cat. She's very noisy and she's very talkative. Her name's Lulu. Lulu. So, and there she is. Hi, Lulu. Yeah. Don't mind her. So anyway, I finished my first year of college in my senior year of high school, and then I attended another full-time year of college and received my associate in arts when I was 19 years old. I did not know what I wanted to do. I did take some health science classes thinking maybe, you know, I'll become a veterinarian or something like that. I was very intimidated by the high school or by the college level classes as a high schooler, as a 17-year-old. And I did not as well as I had done in my high school classes. In high school, I was an honors student. I graduated cum laude. And when I got to the college classes, I was just woefully unprepared. I just did not realize just the level at which you're expected to perform in college as a full-time student. And I didn't fail anything, but I think I got my very first D ever in my life in college chemistry. And I was shook. So I didn't know what my path was going to be. And it literally just in my brain, just everything just went, you know, and I was lost. So I had no idea what I wanted to do. I finished out a degree just in general education just to get that done. And then I decided to take some time off to kind of reevaluate, figure out what I wanted to do. At the time, you know, my mom, who I was living with, said that if I wasn't attending classes at school, then I needed to pay rent to her for my room, or, you know, I could move out. So that's what I did. I moved from the Tampa Bay area in Florida to Orlando. So I moved to Orlando, got my first apartment, and then I realized that it's really hard to survive on your own, and was living, you know, paycheck to paycheck, you know, still working at the animal hospitals, but you don't get paid very much working in animal hospitals. I believe at the time I was making something like $9 or $10 an hour. I remember getting a raise to $11 an hour many years into my experience working in animal hospitals, and, you know, rent at the time was like around $750 a month or something like that for my one bedroom, plus car insurance, cell phone, all of the other stuff. So I was overwhelmed. And my short time off to figure out what I wanted to do turned into many years. So this, you know, when I got my associates, that's way back in 2004. So I got my associates then, took many years off, reattended about 9 years later in 2013 or 2012, somewhere around there. Did a few other courses, was thinking, you know, maybe you know, I can take some classes in the health sciences and kind of figure it out from there. And, you know, attended some classes there, was still living on my own, was still living paycheck to paycheck, and realized that I just don't know how I'm supposed to work a full-time job and attend school, you know, full-time in order to achieve any sort of degree right now, supporting myself completely. And took another few years off to figure it out. Ended up taking more classes, I believe in 2016, 2017. And then my husband and I found out we were expecting. So our first son arrived in 2017. I finished my semester of spring classes 2 weeks before my son was born. And I've been out ever since. So it's been 6 years since I've attended college. And I started again in January of 2023 of this year. And I kind of came up with a plan over the pandemic. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a nurse. And I knew that for the nursing programs, at least in Florida, in my general area, they all required me to have taken science of human nutrition. And then in order to achieve a bachelor's, which is going to be my next step, because right now my program I'm in is an associate degree in nursing. So that is an RN degree, but it's a 2-year degree. So I know to achieve the bachelor's on my way up, I would also need to take some other classes. So I went ahead and took lifespan of human developmental psychology. So I took that, and I also took microcomputer applications. So I've taken those over the spring and summer semesters now, and I'm a 4.0 student at my college right now with those 3 classes. So I'm very proud of that, you know, while having also been a full-time mom. So, you know, we have our oldest son who is 6, and then we have 5-year-old twins. So it's been a crazy few years. But so I applied to the nursing program to my college, and I took the TEAS exam, which was required. Took that. I did relatively well. I know it's a very hard test, and I don't think I've seen anyone get over like a 92%. So on my TEAS exam, I did relatively well. I especially did well in the math and reading portion, and not as great in the science and language portion of the TEAS exam. So, you know, not terrible, but could have been better. But my math and reading scores really elevated my total score, and I did relatively well. I was debating back and forth whether I wanted to retake the TEAS exam in order to be more competitive in being able to get into the limited access RN program. But ultimately, I decided, nope, I am just going to go ahead and see how it goes. So I found out last month that I was accepted, yay! And I was so excited. I found out on my my first son's birthday when he turned 6. That was the day I got my acceptance letter. And so now I will be starting in a couple of weeks in my first semester of nursing to become an RN. So my path that I've kind of laid out for myself is to get my associate degree in nursing, becoming an RN, and then take that to a BSN program, probably like an RN to BSN program, because those you can typically do online in just over a year or so. So that's ideal for me. So we'll see how that goes. That's kind of the plan though. And then what I'd like to do from there is go get a DNP, a Doctor of Nursing Practice, in order to become a nurse practitioner. So that is the end goal. That's what I'd really like to do. But, you know, there's a lot of variables, but I am a pretty determined and stubborn person. So I usually, if I want something done, I usually, you know, really go hard and really try to achieve that. And especially as I've gotten, you know, older, I'm a lot more mature, and, you know, it's not like I'm going out anymore. You know, I've got a family to support and take care of. So, so I've got a lot of time to focus, and my kids, my twins starting kindergarten this year, they're finally going to be in full-time school as well. So we're all going to be in school, and it's the perfect time for me to go do what I want to do. So in order to support our family, you know, for the many years to come. So that's the plan. That's what I want to do. That's the degree that I'm going for. I'm looking at the next 2 years, or basically 4 semesters worth of fall, spring, graduating in spring 2025 with my RN. And then hopefully I'll be able to find a hospital or a career that will help me go and get my bachelor's, my BSN. So that's what I want to do. Now, if you all have gone and become a nurse, let me know what path you took. Did you go straight? Did you know exactly that you wanted to be a nurse when you were 18 years old and graduated high school and went straight into a nursing program? Or did it take some time for you to figure it out too? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and follow along with me as I document my journey. I will be starting school very soon, and I'm going to bring you along and show you what it's all about. All right.